Congratulations to you all, and thank you all for coming to the meeting and for giving up your time to be Student Voice members. Student Voice is RUSU's democratic forum of 55 representatives from a range of areas within the student union who have a voice on student-led issues. For those of you who are not aware, Student Voice will be meeting 3 times this year, with the other 2 meetings in January and May. There we go. So we'll start our first section of the meeting this evening, which is for campaigns and policy. This section is when Student Voice members will have the opportunity to debate the ideas which have been submitted through the Change It platform. For this, we have 2 ideas up for debate this evening, which are the campaign for more gender-neutral toilets and the campaign for more plugs in lecture theatres. We'll also be receiving an update on the continue to lobby for a 4G Astro pitch, and then also coffee cup recycling from the relevant officers after we've carried out the debate. While I understand that not everyone will agree with everyone's viewpoint on every issue, I do encourage you to be respectful towards each other's view. So we'll begin with the campaign for more gender-neutral toilets. And I'm looking for someone who would like to speak for this issue. Lee? Yep. We've got a microphone coming now.
Thank you. Hi, Lean. Oh, that's loud. Diversity Officer at Student Union. So for me, I think that this is a great idea. The most striking thing for me is, if you look at the last paragraph, it found that 70% of survey respondents reported experiencing verbal harassment, assault, and being denied access to public restrooms. If we can do something to change that on our campus, then I think that's really important. And it means that people that are gender fluid or pansexual or trans will have a safe place to, or safe space to go to where they know that they won't receive that harassment. So for me, this is a great idea, and I think that we should work on that and having it across the board. Thank you.
Thank you. And now I'm looking for someone that wants to speak against the idea. If you just wait, the microphone's behind you.
Hi, my name is Sarah. I'm a first year undergraduate. So basically, I believe that there are many international students in this university. As there are Arabs, most of them are not comfortable with having one that's for both genders. They are more comfortable with just one single gender because it's very hard for most of the international students to go there, as probably like in union for when people are drunk and they go upstairs. People are not comfortable with that. They find it very difficult where like guys would still be weird around girls. So yeah.
And now I'm looking for someone that wishes to speak for this campaign idea.
Hi, my name is Aurora. There are actually gender-neutral toilets in the Edith Morley building. I went there. Actually, they are separated cubicles. So you have like your sink and your hand dryer and your toilet inside the separate cubicle, and all you have when you walk outside is mirrors. So that's the only thing that you're sharing with everybody of the same gender. It's very inclusive, and I think it's more sanitary than you going to like little females will let more people more conscious and aware of what they're doing there. So I just wanted to add that perhaps it wouldn't be as much as an issue as you're faring up. Yeah.
And now, is there somebody that would like to speak against the issue? Campaign?
Can I just speak?
Yeah.
I just wanted to say, we could amend it to say, just add it, not like that it wouldn't get rid of separated female and male toilets, because I don't think that's in the spirit of this policy. So the toilets would remain, it's just adding more gender neutral toilets. And I think also we should be careful as representatives of students to assume that certain types of students would have problems with it, particularly like saying Arabs, because that's a big pool of people. So I just want to say to note assumptions, and that's it. Thank you.
Do we have anyone else that would like to speak either for or against this campaign idea? Okay, so we'll now move on to amendments. So if anyone would like to submit an amendment. Yeah.
Hello everyone, I'm Ed, the Education Officer from RISU. I only want to make one amendment, and it's to the very first line where the word toilets in every building around campus. I think the word every should be amended to not every. Just knowing that it can be quite difficult to implement that policy from our side if it is every building, and it'd be much easier to achieve the policy if we made it more vague or less specific. So, in popular buildings or in most buildings? I think
Numerous.
in numerous. Maybe not numerous. Maybe just in buildings. Yeah, get rid of numerous and just in buildings. Campaign for more gender neutral in buildings around campus. Yeah, I'm happy with that amendment, and that's what I'm proposing. Thank you.
Okay. So we'll now go into voting procedure. So for student voice members, please, with these voting cards, we'll start off by voting for those that would like to pass this amendment. Please can you raise them as high as possible, please? Those who would like to, thank you. Those who would like to reject the amendment. And those who would like to abstain. No. So this idea has now passed and will be going to the all-student vote. So this gives you the opportunity to question the full-time officers on their current activity and to hold them to account. We'll be taking each officer's report in turn, where we'll be starting with the President, and they'll have 1 minute to present their report. So on this point, we'll be moving to our first officer, which we'll be receiving his report from, and this is President Tristan.
Hi there, hello. Okay, so I'm going to blast through my scrutiny report, which hopefully you have right in front of you. So the RISU app was the first thing on there. The concept is secured, the funding is secured. We're talking to app developers at the moment. We're talking to the uni who are now going to be helping us. Features are restricted to a couple of features so as to not to imitate the website, which we already have. And I'm currently collating feedback from other unions for benchmarking. We have student festivals, one this term on the last Wednesday union and one on the penultimate term. These aim to provide a differentiated experience to a normal union. Also on my report we have relaxation zones, which I'm very, very excited about because we've actually secured funding for now. So these basically are state-of-the-art kind of transformational areas, either like massage chairs and zones. And very, very, very quickly, democracy reforms and marketing rebranding. So these are two big things I'm doing. And then sustainability, I have 7 sustainability projects with the Environment and Ethics Officer, Carl Smith, and we're working on them. So thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. All student presidents have the opportunity for 3 minutes to question the full-time officer on his report. Sarah?
Yeah.
I was just going to ask about sleeper pods because they are quite expensive.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is it really the best spending of money given that?
Sure, no, it's a good question. I know sleeper pods have been trying to do...
What are the sleeping pods?
Okay, so sleeper pods are basically, how would you describe them? They're kind of like beds, but not beds, that you can take a nap in.
Like
Yeah, kind of, yeah. So they're pods where you can lie down and have a quick nap based on kind of what technology they use, whatever. And then in response to Sarah's question, they are quite expensive and they have been they've been attempted to be done in the past, but we've been able to secure quite a lot of funding for it. And that's why, I'm so excited in terms of the fact that we're actually on the brink of doing it. So that's good. And massage chairs as well. So those were the 2 big things on my manifesto, on that manifesto point.
Next question. So,
On the same point, which is like where, did you say one area in Rusu?
Yeah.
Like where in Rusu?
So the current area, well, firstly, on my manifesto, it talks about areas, and having done kind of like the research, we think it's going to be more feasible to do one like really good area rather than some kind of like average ones dotted about. And the area that we're looking at most is potentially the place where bubble tea is, the old bubble tea Pearls is up now, or potentially even the cloakroom, which is being considered as a potential site at the moment.
okay, thank you. So that's the 3 minutes that are up for questions. So all students now will be able to vote on Tristan's report. So if you would like to pass the President's report, please will you raise your pass card. So this is either the blue or the purple one if you're a non. And those who wish to reject his report, and those who wish to abstain. So his report passes.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so now we're going on to our next student officer, our diversity officer, Lee. Your 1 minute.
Thank you. You've probably read this report or you have it in front of you, so I won't say too much on it. But refugee scholarships and guarantor schemes for international students are pretty much happening. I'll have more of an update at the next Student Voice. Black History Month and One World have been expanded to be bigger and better, and they are on both campuses now as well. So myself and Eleanor went down to London Road and took everything that we did for Black History Month, and we did social there as well. So being inclusive of all campuses, and things that aren't on there are conversation corners, which is something that I'm trying to increase this year for students that are underrepresented, to have a platform where they can discuss the issues they might be facing. And part-time officers now have coffee hours, which is to make them a bit more accessible, and so anyone can go to them with issues. And trying to establish a discrimination helpline so we can minimise hate crimes on campus. And then the Faces of Reading, which I'm working closely with Tristan on, and that should be released very soon. Sorry, I'm over the minute. Thank you very much.
And so now the 3 minutes of questioning. Do I have anyone that would like to ask Lee the question? Yeah.
Sorry, I just wanted to ask for the Black History Month one, what is a yoga latte? A yoga latte session, sorry? What? What is that?
Yeah, so it's a combination of yoga and Pilates, if I'm correct. And it's something that Reading as a town did. They had a fun Afro-Caribbean yoga latte session, and I stole the idea, basically. So we thought it'd be fun to have it and combine with the Yoga Latte Society and do it here. So that'll be happening towards the end of this month, and it'll be really fun. Thank you.
Wow, as an Afro-Caribbean myself, I didn't realise we were that flexible. But...
So for guarantor scheme for international students, does that mean also tuition, as it would decrease? Because we do not have anything special, and we do get the exact same thing. So like, for example, same practicals, same lectures and everything.
Yeah, so this is something that I have been conveying to the university as to how international students feel with the difference in the pay gap, etc. Pay gap, the tuition fees. But it's something that I'm working on. It's more of a long-term project as to see what international students can get out of that, and we're looking at things in terms of widening participation, in terms of accessibility and more students that can come here and maybe using it for bursaries, but it will be a longer-term project.
Next question. At the back.
Yeah. So my question is
You just
kind
want
of,
to wait for the microphone.
So my question really is, in terms of diversity being all great, but in terms of everybody mixing and having different groups, so ethnicity groups mixing, I feel like that's quite important, and I just wanted to have some feedback from you as to what your report would do to kind of improve that around the university campus.
Yeah, so do you mean just generally
Just
or
generally,
in like...
yeah.
So sports and societies, which Charlotte is in charge of, should be inclusive of all. We know that that doesn't happen all the time, but if it doesn't, then students should be feeding back to us. Integration of all the students is very high on my list, and that comes a lot under Faces of Reading, so to have a fun thing that all students can get involved in, but also the One World Committee, watch out because we have a very important video coming soon, and that's all about basically celebrating our cultural differences, but focusing on common student issues that anyone would face, whether you're from Pakistan or America or whatever. So there's a lot to get involved in, and the One World Committee are doing a really good job on working on the video to launch to all students. So that's it, yeah. There's more, but...
Okay, so that's Lean's 3 minutes of question time. Thank you. So now we're going to vote on Lean's, the Diversity Officer's report. So for those who wish to pass the report, please raise your appropriate card. This report passes. So now we're on to our third report. Charlotte, your minute.
Hi, so I'll take the report as read, but I'll summarise. Awards balls, I'm doing them to increase the celebration of the students' achievements, and I'm planning them at the moment with different departments in RUSU, and it's still going well. For RAG and volunteering, with RAG we kind of are meeting weekly to discuss different things. We've set targets, so kind of aiming for £150,000 and £20,000 directly going to their chosen charities. And also I'm working at the moment with the Red Award people in the uni to kind of look at a scheme of volunteering and how we can reward those and make it more integral to RUSU. I've also been working on a sports strategy for RUSU, which kind of came about after working on the university strategy, which is still ongoing. So that's in the process of implementing. And I've also created the Knights accreditation scheme, which is to ensure that our clubs kind of are rewarded for what they do, but also make sure they're inclusive, diverse and charitable. It's kind of on these points. I've also set up a panel with the 3 student media heads, who we meet twice a month to kind of discuss what is and isn't working and make sure that kind of their ideas, I'm listening to them. And at the moment they're all working really well together, so it's going well. And this goal count and give it a go. I was planning to do this goal count this term, but for a few reasons it's been delayed till early next term because I want to do it really well. And this work out, it's good.
You. Yeah.
And give it a go for this planning.
So questions. Tom? No, I apologise. It can be Tom. I apologise.
Hello, Charlotte.
Hello.
I was wondering if you could just talk about what this girl count is for the people that don't know.
Okay. So this Girl Can is a national campaign trying to increase the participation of girls in sport. It doesn't have to be competitive sport, it's just even participation level, and it's just that there is a kind of nationally a higher rate of females dropping out of sport as we kind of get older compared to men, and it's just to kind of keep girls and increase their involvement. Bucks do it as well.
Next question.
Is this Girl Can the only sort of participation increasing thing that you're doing, or is there any others that you could be doing?
At the moment it's the only campaign I'm doing, but in the sports strategy we've put a focus on increasing our levels of participation in sport and to make it more accessible. So it's,
Okay.
Zoe?
Hi, sorry, just on the awards balls, obviously this is going to be a bigger event. I was just wondering how this is going to affect the people who are invited to it and the amount of people from different societies that can actually go. Is there going to be any effect on the fact that now you are giving more in these events?
The numbers, it's open to all. The numbers we're looking at the moment are about 400 per event, which is in line with what we were getting at our awards evenings anyway. And to ensure that it's accessible, we haven't budgeted to make any profit from ticket prices, and we're working really hard to keep it as affordable as possible so that the most people can attend.
Great, thank you. So now we'll be voting on Charlotte's report. So all those who wish to pass the report, please raise your cards now. And those, thank you, and those who would like to reject. And those who want to vote abstain. The report passes. So now we're going to move on to our next, which is for the welfare officer for Rose.
Hello, so yes, I'm Rose. Just a summary quickly. So Testing Tuesdays is an event on the first Tuesday of every month. So the head nurse from Florida comes in and it's screening for STIs for all students. Hopefully this will break down the stigma behind talking about sexual health. The Big White Wall is a 24/7 confidential helpline for students. So the university's recently passed this, so the contract's being written up at the minute. Ask for Pamela is pretty much a code word for safety, making sure the bar staff are aware if any student needs help, they can alert security. Mental health campaigns, so I've got quite a lot planned for the year. At the minute, because it's November, I'm working on male mental health, so focusing on Boys Do Cry campaign, which the video will be out at the end of the month. And Operation Beautiful is focusing on body positivity and body image. So like little notes and mirrors, just reminding everyone that like they're beautiful and like their own way, and yeah.
Good. Thank you. Left on time. Do we have any questions for Rose? Seth.
Hi, I'm Beth. I'm the law school rep. I just want to say I absolutely loved all of the points in your report. It might just be because I'm ignorant, and if that's true, then I do apologise. But your Testing Tuesdays, this is something that I think that's a fantastic idea, but I haven't seen very much. This is the first I've heard of it since the start of term. So if you have been sort of posting around campus, I do apologise because I haven't seen you do it. But.
So it's been going on for about 3 weeks. I think. So obviously last week was reading week, which I kind of didn't take into consideration that there's not going to be any students around. At the minute I don't have posters, so it's just kind of word of mouth, but they're currently being made.
If you have any help, then I'd be more than happy to recruit. I know those so might be really happy to spread the word. I think
Catch you at the end.
Thank you.
Thank you. Question?
Yeah. Hi Rose, I'm Rashan. First of all, I really love Operation Beautiful. I think that's really something that a lot of women struggle with at university. But my question is, Testing Tuesdays, what can you do to kind of prevent that? So the idea of, yeah, it's great to be tested, but can the university actually promote contraception and kind of awareness for prevention?
So in Freshers Week, we have the I Heart Consent campaign. So all the JCRs kind of give out I Heart Consent condoms and things like that. So I suppose that's kind of all we've done so far. But that's definitely something I could continue and put forth throughout the next year.
Yeah. Thank you.
Sarah?
Thank you. Bigger White Wall, is that similar to like Nightline and things like that? It doesn't really make too much
Yeah, so the Big White Wall is just like Nightline, only it's 24/7, whereas Nightline I think shuts off for about 4 hours. The Big White Wall is UK staff, and then come night time it switches over to New Zealand staff, but their qualifications pretty much match that of the UK, so the service provider doesn't change at all. So yeah, the university's recently just passed that, so hopefully within the new year that will be up and running, so students can access help at 24/7. Big or small, the problem, which is what I like about it.
And one more question. So, Molly.
I was just wondering, with the Boys Do Cry campaign, how are you going to make that easy and accessible for male students to be able to find and access in terms of the campaign videos? Just because the media, well, my media stream in particular, don't have a welfare officer anymore, and I've had a fair handful of male members who have come to me with mental health problems, and I don't really have anywhere to direct them. Is there any way that you could make this a little bit more accessible and easier to find?
So it's not actually out at the minute, it hasn't been done yet. It'll be
Is there any way, do you know when?
So it's going to be the 15th, I think, so that's next Wednesday, if I'm correct. So that's when it'll be filmed, and then I'd be so happy if you could share it on like your channels and things like that. Hopefully within the video at the end, we'll put some more information as to like where meals can go and to get advice and get help within the university. But it's kind of a share campaign, so hopefully everyone will put it on their own social media and want to share it.
Are you going to put it around campus in case there are guys who don't use social media?
Yeah. I haven't thought of that, but yeah, good. So maybe the kind of the screens downstairs in Roosey, we could maybe play it on that. But yeah.
Okay, thank you, Rose. So we're now going to vote on the welfare officer's report. For those members who would like to pass it, please raise your cards now. This is all students. Just, Thank you. This report passes. So our next and final full-time officer will be the education officer and Ed.
Thank you very much, Jack. So I'll start with study space and get through as much as I can in my minute. I think we all know there's a dire lack of study space, so half of my time is pretty much compiling the complaints I get in and taking them to the relevant committees that I sit on. One of those is UBTL, the highest sort of teaching and learning committee, and ensuring that the VC and all the Pro-Vice Chancellors are aware of sort of your comments on the lack of study space. And the other half is making the best of the situation I can, so suggesting improvements to the free room finder so you can book in hour slots, not just half hour, well not book, but see hour slots, not just half hour slots. Creating a study space map, because there's actually 1,500 spaces available across the campus, but it's quite hard to know where they are, what their opening times, what facilities do they have, so I asked for that when I started the post about 5 months ago, so hopefully MC at the university, marketing, communication, game engagement will make that soon. And obviously pushing for more space. That's opening the ground and first floor of the main library as soon as they physically can, as soon as it's ready and safe to use. Looking at whether the university could support an extension to our study. That's something they're very positive about and we think can move forward. I'm going to move on to printing. There's free printing.
Just use your 1 minute.
Okay, sorry. I'll go very briefly on 3 more. Free printing is available in the study now, so that's a real step forward, and I'm also lobbying for sort of printing credits as well, so 2 sides there. And ECFs will be available to submit online soon, and I'll invite you to all your questions on the other bits, all the bits I've already spoken about.
Thank you. Do we have any questions? The yellow card.
Hello, Ed. The study space map stuff, is that going to include London Road as well? Yeah?
Should do, yes.
Should. Okay, thank you.
But I haven't seen the draft yet, so if it doesn't, it's obviously something I can push for.
Hello, Ed. Very comprehensive report. The only thing I want to ask is, under ECF procedure, can you just explain for people who are not sure what it is, what self-certification is, and the second point of ECF procedure?
Sure, so this was something that Pip, last year's welfare officer, was working on, and something that I've picked up at the start of sort of my office. It would be the option that any student at the university once or potentially twice per year would be able to self-certify. Like in a job, you can self-certify the fact that you're sick. It would be the same process, but it would be on that online, so you could go online, click I'm self-certifying, and it would give you an automatic, almost week extension on coursework. It wouldn't apply to exams and some other bits, but I'm writing a proposal and that will go forward to the relevant committees and feed its way through, hopefully.
And finally, thank you all for taking such an active part in this meeting and for making my first meeting as chair run smoothly. The next meeting will be on the 30th of January. Once again, if anyone has any questions, please feel free to get in touch. Please, can you hand back in your voting cards back in where you signed in. Thank you all once again and good night.